Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel and welcome to 2020. So we have a lot to cover in this video and I don't want it dragging out, so we'll make it quick, but obviously we still want it over 10 minutes. So let's just start off with the obvious. Last year was terrible. Worst year of my life. Now that sounds a bit excessive, but every year has been good until last year. And considering some of the best things in my life happened last year as well, like getting Winston, getting Stanley, quitting my job to do this as a job, like dream job. Endgame, like so much good stuff happened. But yeah, it was still absolutely awful. So some of the things you may be aware of, probably a played down version of what actually happened. Some things you won't be aware of, quite a lot of things actually. But I'm not here to talk about any of that, that's probably for a therapist one day, but all that's in 2019 and it is staying there. So we started this channel as just a place to put videos of Pablo on so we could go back and watch him in the future. Now the title of this video is something probably along the lines of I lied or telling the truth, or something really clickbaity just to generate a few more views. So let's just lay everything on the table this video and then we never have to talk about it ever again. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. I'm a very self-aware person, I'm very self-critical, I'm always honest with you guys, but I have been told on many occasions that's not true, but we'll get into that later on. I've got a whole section on that. Just ask Chelsea's mum, I get in trouble quite a lot for being truthful. Sorry Sharon. So let's review everything that's gone on. Is going on and is going to happen in the future with these three munchkins that none of them will join me up here, so just me. So when I started the channel, I was very aware of how YouTube works and that this could become something more than just a hobby or more than just something for myself. And in the back of my mind, there was always a part of me that like was kind of just fingers crossed and hoping that it could develop into something, because YouTube is something I would like love to have done in the past, but just never like had an excuse to do it really. I didn't have the confidence to start my own channel myself, doing things I did, because I didn't really do anything. I didn't know what I would do. So this was like a great excuse to kind of give it a go, test the waters, see how I like it, and just kind of hide behind Pablo a little bit. So I did set it off as kind of like a vlog. There was like 6 or 7 videos where we didn't even have Pablo. It was just me starting off with just a phone. And what I wanted was actually just like to be our lives with the dogs. But then as things happened and videos went out, it just kind of ended up about being purely about the dogs and not about us at all. Because that's what people like, and what people like, you tend to just kind of keep putting that content out. That's how it works. People weren't keen on the talking videos, and I can kind of completely understand that. The name of the channel is probably misleading. I should probably have changed it, but that's how it is now. But I still wanted to do the vlog stuff regardless, because, you know, I wanted to show every aspect of owning a pug, the good and the bad. I wanted the channel to be a place where I could give you guys advice, you guys could give us advice, you guys could give each other advice, and it was going to be like a little central hub, and we were going to be like the voice of the community sort of thing. And yeah, I had this lovely vision of that. You know, once we got Pablo, I was kind of set on a bit of this mission to kind of restore the brand of a pug. And it's because I got this horrible stereotype of being like lazy, fat, can't breathe, make horrible noises, serious health problems, which like the greater media portrayed as like normal for a pug. And they've done this to the point where people had to step in and say you can't advertise pugs anymore, you can't promote an unhealthy dog. But advertisers were choosing to use unhealthy pugs rather than using actual healthy pugs, because that was more cute to have a like fat panting pug with his tongue sticking out. Whereas if you look at all 3 of our boys, that's not the case for any of them. This is what a pug should be like, not that. But oh, that's a rant for another day. Right, continuing, I get sidetracked far too easily. Where was I? Oh, I wanted to show the mistakes. I wanted to show our learning. I wanted to show our successes, our failures. We weren't and still aren't and have never claimed to be pug experts. We're just owners. These are our first dogs. We've only been doing it for 2.5 years. And we also don't claim to be perfect pug owners. We're just sharing our experiences with you guys so you don't make the same mistakes we do. And you can potentially learn from us of stuff that we do well. That's it. But one thing I would like to say to everyone, and just to always remember, if what you think you're doing has your pug's best interests at heart, then that's enough. You don't have to be the perfect owner, you just have to love them and be trying your best. That's all anybody can do. Although as we found out, that is not good enough for some people. But you don't have to listen to anyone else. If you want help, people will give you it. If you don't want help, people will still give you it, but you don't have to listen to it. Simple as that. I know I love these 3 boys and everything I do for them is out of pure love for them, and if we get something... You know what, mister? But yeah, I know I love the boys, and everything I do is what I personally think is going to be the best thing for them. So we post our problems and issues, you guys help us. In turn, we post our results to help other people going through the exact same things. And it was going great. We thought we hit a little bit of a niche in the market, being a channel that posts real pug videos, you know, real life actual pug videos, as opposed to just posting cute videos of all the nice stuff that happens. You know, we happily showed you Pablo pooping up the walls while he was on a laxative because he's ate his cone bandage. We could have just posted a cute video of him looking really sad in his cone and it probably would have got a lot more views, but that's not what we wanted to do, because I wanted a real representation of real life, because there's too much out there that just posts the nice stuff. We've done it with Pablo, we've done it with Winston, and we've done it with Stanley. We've kept it across the board the same. So what I've learned from doing this and reading your guys' comments is there isn't a right or wrong way of doing anything, really. There are just many different opinions, many different methodologies. But what I have learned is there is actually a 100% correct way of doing things, and every other way apart from that way is completely wrong, according to a lot of people in the comment section. Okay. If it was that simple, there would be a book with simple, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is what you do, but there isn't. There's many books with many different things to say what to do, many different methods, yeah. So yeah, I've realised that everything I've done with these dogs in the past is wrong according to somebody, and people are always very quick to point stuff like this out. Now, there is definitely wrong ways of doing stuff, but there isn't necessarily a right way. So like if you're training them to do paw, sticking a treat to the ceiling with sellotape is wrong. Anything else you kind of do is probably okay to do, it's fine. Well, let's take our training videos for examples. There's so many comments saying you should do this with your hand, you should be saying this instead of this, you should be doing it at this time of day, not this time of day, you should be wearing a certain colour t-shirt. Like, there's so many opinions. The video started off with him not knowing how to sit. The video ended with him knowing how to sit. What happened in the middle doesn't matter. He learned, and that's all that matters. The comments might be helpful towards other people, but people just attack me personally about what I did, saying I'm wrong, without helping anyone else. But I just enjoy spending the time with them and just creating that bond. I don't care that it took me 40 minutes rather than 5 minutes. I'd much rather it take a lot longer and we spend a lot more time with them than doing it as efficiently as possible and making them a robot for sitting. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. But I can deal with different opinions. I'm open to the conversation. I'm willing to have that talk with people who think differently. I'm willing to talk, but sometimes people just want an argument. So just not going to rise to it anymore. Like, let's take the video of us sleeping with Pablo in the bed, for example. That went viral on Facebook with like 35 million views on one site, which is just absolutely incredible, absolutely mind-blowing. And let me just say for the record, I hate this video. This is one of the worst videos I've posted on the channel just at all, and it's my most viewed, and I hate that fact. That's probably another topic for another day. But yeah, what a sweet little innocent video, just a pug sharing the bed with the parents. So you'd think. But there were so many comments saying things like, that's absolutely disgusting, as if you share a bed with a dog, oh, there'll be poo and pee everywhere, it'll be disgusting, you better be full of fleas, you're so unclean, and yeah, okay, people are going to have these opinions, that's fine. And then we had a video of Stanley sleeping by himself in the kitchen, which was one of only 2 nights he'd spent by himself since getting him. And we don't have him sleep on the bed because he hasn't got bladder control and he will pee and poo on the bed, and that's a genuine cleanliness concern for us. And then we just started getting comments like, why isn't he sleeping in the bed with you? Because I don't want to be sleeping with actual poo in the bed. I'm quite happy sleeping with a dog that poos outside in the bed, but I don't want a dog pooing in the actual bed. You can't win. You just cannot win. Now, obviously, these aren't the same people making the 2 different opinions. It's 2 different people making the 2 different opinions, but this is just the internet. Nobody agrees. So what's the best thing to do in situations like this? Just ignore it. Don't rise to it. Just let it be what it is, and that is why I haven't replied to comments in a couple of months now, because just kind of done reading and replying and justifying myself to these. Along with the fact I'm also getting hundreds of comments a day, which I just can't keep on top of. Just don't have the time to go through, read them and reply to them. Especially when people are sending us like full paragraphs of comments. And I am looking into ways to be able to talk to you guys on a more personal scale, like you kind of hardcore fans. But there's a few hurdles with every option I've kind of looked at, and I'm working on something. Now, in the past, I have wasted so much time arguing with people, justifying myself, explaining every little thing I do. I've made even videos in response to just certain comments, and now I'm just done. And something I haven't talked about before, the video of us announcing that we were getting Stanley, you know, a completely innocent video, yay, we're getting a puppy. No one's gonna have an issue with that, have they? That video had so many withheld comments, the video itself actually got taken down over suspicion of breaking community guidelines and all stuff like this, because we had so many comments calling us racist, sexist, and many other things. Like, we're just getting a puppy. How is just honestly, absolute madness. Anywho, the transition between the real world and the world of being an influencer, which, by the way, I absolutely despise that word influencer. Personally prefer to go by online content creator, but influencer is something a lot more people kind of generally understand. But yeah, that transition from working 40 hours a week, being on my feet all day, doing a physical job, talking and interacting to people like in person, and then going to spending all day at home and talking to absolutely no one and just reading negative comment after negative comment. It actually took me quite by surprise how lonely I felt so quickly after that transition. I wasn't expecting it at all. I have always been quite a loner, quite quiet in social situations. I prefer my own company over other people's, but I always had them interactions regardless. I was always around people having them interactions, but I just felt completely isolated, and I didn't know how to react. I didn't know what to do except just be miserable for quite a while, which I was, yeah, it came across in the videos. And this is also in addition to everything else that was going on this year, which just... But I had the boys, and we just spent many hours just sat on the couch, cuddling, watching TV, eating food, and we are the bestest friends, and I confided in them so much, and yeah, Pugs are the best companion dogs, hands down. So I wasn't really intending on this video being as negative or ranty, but that's just how it is, and we'll just keep going with it because you've just got to let it out. So you guys will probably see this sort of thing, like a 98% like to dislike ratio on videos. That's unbelievable. That is like really good. And I'd like to remind you guys to keep hitting that like button because it does really help us out massively. Like, I know a lot of people say that because it genuinely does, but like 2% of 1,000 people is only 20 people. Now you can just ignore 20 people. It's, you know, it's only 20 people, 20 comments, I just skip past them. But 2% of like 60,000 people, you know, that's a good like 1,200 people. Quick math. Potentially, obviously not everyone is watching every video, and the dislikes probably aren't coming from people who follow the channel, but you get kind of what I'm getting at. But even at such a small percentage, that small percentage is so much more vocal than the higher percentage. But yeah, so I've got 98% to 2%, yet my emails are a perfect 50-50 split between nice emails and horrible emails. So that 2% is actually just as loud as the 98%. So it might come across that there's so much positivity on the channel, but what I'm seeing is actually completely 50-50. But I would actually like just to read through one email that I did get, just to show you guys kind of the emails I get almost on a daily basis from just posting pug videos online. Like, why? Don't need to receive hate, but whatever. I just want to give you guys an insight from it from my perspective. And like, massive respect to some other YouTubers, you know, they will get a lot more than what I'm getting. Take, for example, Logan Paul. Like, the fact he's still making videos is incredible. Because for what I get, he must be getting 1,000 times more and worse than this. Which just like, hats off to anyone dealing with this. Don't get me wrong, I do love the positive ones though. Like, it does make my day sometimes. I'll be having a bit of a crappy day and I get one of these emails, just literally someone out of there has gone out their way just to email me and say, I just love your content, thank you so much, you make my day. Like, that to me, that's what I'm doing this for. And yeah, I will apologise to a lot of people who do email me. I am a very forgetful person, and if I don't reply the moment I've read it, I will almost 100% definitely forget to reply in the future. I'll see it as read and I will just ignore it from then on. It's nothing personal. I would forget my own head if it wasn't attached to my body. Which is why if you see me looking down, it's because I have notes here, because I would forget everything I wanted to try and say in this video, even though we've gone off topic quite a few times. So here's a picture of Masha that somebody sent me, and then here's a picture of Louis that someone else also sent me. So I like seeing these. I like just people sending me personal ones, because you can go on Instagram and find loads of pictures of pugs, but I like seeing your guys' actual pugs, like the people who watch this, your actual pugs. It's great. And I realise I haven't responded to either of these, so I will try after recording this video, but I can guarantee I will forget, and then I'll remember while I'm editing, and then once I've finished editing I'll forget again, and sorry. Okay, so this is the email I want to read out to you, and this email is in response to the video, is Pablo not okay with his brothers anymore? I think that's what it was called. Now, I didn't really give much context to this video at all. The video was very rushed. I didn't explain myself very well in the video. I just kind of threw that video up because I wanted just some opinions on what might be going on, and it provoked a big reaction, and hook, line and sinker, we got an email like this, which is what I get on videos quite regularly, but I hadn't had one in a while. So it's great to have like the most kind of recent one. I actually got quite a few, but this is probably the most notable one, and it's got the most points that I can speak about. I am sorry if this has taken a while. Thank you for sticking by. Now, we did get a few helpful comments on the video, some things that I hadn't quite considered, or something that I maybe didn't quite push far enough, or haven't quite done to a best standard or some, but yeah. But there was lots of varied opinions about what was going on and what we need to do. But there is some stuff that we can work on, and we're definitely going to try that. So thank you guys for your help. Pablo is absolutely fine though. He is just genuinely clueless about playing with dogs his size. He just doesn't understand how to play. So I'm not going to give out this guy's name, his business, or his phone number, which he did kindly leave for me. You know, I don't want anyone bothering, but my advice to him would be, don't give out that much personal information to someone you are personally attacking online, especially someone that has quite a following. This could have ended very badly. But I'm a nice guy, so your secret is safe with me. So let's begin. I've been around pugs since the early 1960s. I'm 70 years old next year. That explains the obliviousness just to giving out personal information to strangers online. My uncle bred pugs. Alright, so this guy might know a thing or two about pugs, and he might have some helpful insight to help us out. These are the reasons I'm unsubscribing for your channel. Okay, guess not then. Anyone who commercialises their pets to the extent that they are willing to resign full-time work in favour of selling their dogs to the public doesn't, in my opinion, have their pets' welfare first and foremost. I can't read, by the way, so just bear that in mind. I'm going to struggle here. I'm a visual learner. So working full-time and leaving them at home 5 days a week for 10 hours a day is having their best welfare at heart? Is that what you're trying to get? Is that what you're trying to say? Is that the best thing for them? Or is spending every single day with them, taking them on many adventures and just spending plenty of time with them, is that not better for their welfare? I don't know. So that's complete nonsense, so we're already off to a flying start. Commercialising them? Yes, I am. Do they have any concept of it? Absolutely not. Does it affect them in any way, shape or form? Absolutely not. Selling a t-shirt with Pablo's name on it, how is that affecting him? He has no concept of the internet, of clothing, of publicity, fate. Has none of that. That isn't affecting him in any way, shape or form. Selling their dog? No, I'm selling my privacy. That's what I'm selling. I'm selling my life. I'm very aware how putting myself in the public eye affects me. Like getting emails that attack me personally, like this. Yeah, this affects me. But does it affect them? Does Pablo go reading through the emails, calling them ugly and stupid and dumb and get offended by it? No, he's just going on his walk. He doesn't care. If I was charging people to come and meet us and stroke them and spend time with them, having them sit for hours on end while a queue of people comes up to them and strokes them, pats them, pesters them, then yeah, that would be selling them, because that is genuinely affecting them. That's something they don't normally do on a day-to-day basis. That isn't doggy. Filming them sleeping on the couch, no harm. Next point. I wonder if the reason you posted the aforementioned content is viewer blowback regarding your eldest pug's obvious social withdrawal since the arrival of the third member of the pack. Pugs view their human owners as alphas of the pack, i.e. family. Like humans, pugs can be jealous. Yeah, Pugs can get jealous, and social withdrawal, Pablo's had that before we got Winston and Stanley. We just didn't notice it. I'll get into that point a bit later on. But Pablo is just his own man. He doesn't give in to Stanley or Win. He just does his own thing and he doesn't care. Stanley and Winston play. Pablo just sits and watches. Everyone is happy. It's just when Pablo wants to get involved with the play, he doesn't know how. He does get jealous if I'm sat cuddling them because that's what he wants to do. He doesn't get jealous when I play with him because he doesn't want to be involved in that. He doesn't care. He just falls asleep, normally. Sometimes he'll sit and watch, but if he wanted to get involved, he would, but he doesn't. The actual problem is when he wants to play, what he does is he riles them both up, gets them both really excited and in this playful mood, and then he just completely snaps at them just out of the blue for no reason when they start playing with him. Now, in my eyes, that's not jealousy. It's the equivalent if I was jealous of a load of people playing football. I went and started playing football by myself. Everyone then came over and joined me, and then I just started punching everybody until they stopped playing football with me and I was back playing football by myself. That might have jealousy as an underlying issue, but the act I'm talking about is the punching and the aggression. That's more than just jealousy. The reaction is just a bit excessive. This guy's a forensic psychologist, so he understands criminal minds. So I'm not just talking about a jealous boyfriend who's jealous of another boy giving his girl attention. I'm talking about like the jealous boyfriend who's a boy's giving his girlfriend attention and then he murders her. Like that reaction is excessive. Being a bit jealous is a normal reaction. Physically hurting someone because you're jealous isn't. That's what I was trying to get at in this video. Maybe didn't explain myself clearly. Whatever. But Pablo is my right hand guy. He's the firstborn. He will always be the main man and he gets the attention. He always gets the attention. And I wouldn't say he was jealous at all. He still knows he is the main man. Okay then, next point. Your eldest pug is clearly distressed that it doesn't take an Einstein to work out why. I don't know how you'll remedy this situation wherein 2 pugs seem to be generating favourable viewer metrics. Why not 3? And then I can resign, milk my pets for what they're worth. Oh, that's a direct quote from me according to this. So I'm not going to lie to you guys, this was the part that actually kind of triggered me a little bit. Pablo isn't distressed. Pablo just doesn't care and he just looks miserable. 24/7. Since the day we bought Pablo, we have had comments saying, why does Pablo look so miserable? Because his face is just miserable. Even when he's happy, he looks miserable. The way his markings are on his face, the way his mouth bends down, he just looks upset and angry at all times. He doesn't do smiling. He is just a dog that prefers his own company, and we learned that the hard way when we got Winston. And we've been over this in the past. I've talked about how getting Winston was probably a mistake, but Pablo just adjusted by staying out his way and just doing his own thing. But getting Stanley actually helped the situation out, and that was our trail of thought, and luckily it paid off because Stanley took Winston's attention off Pablo, and it did work out in the end. If you look at the signs of stressing the dog and what to look out for, Pablo has absolutely none of them. And even when we got Winston, he didn't have none of them. I just don't think he liked him. It wasn't stress, I just don't think he liked him that much. Which I don't like people, but they don't just stress me out because I don't like them. Just get on with it. As for the viewing metric comments, that's just like straight up outlandish. Like, really? Just completely incorrect. At least if you're going to say something like that, at least get your facts right. And for a start, I resigned and then got a 3rd pug, not get a 3rd pug and then resign. So that's straight up wrong as well. But I understand what you're getting at. So let's have a look at the viewing metric, shall we? I'll let you guys have a look. And this is public information. You guys can go look this up yourselves. So the green is when we got Winston and the blue is when we got Stanley. And as you can see, both actually resulted in a decrease. Subscribers and viewers. And that's why we won't be getting a 4th pug. That is a joke, by the way. However, if we look at the pink and the orange line, this is when we posted the videos of the dogs sleeping in the beds. So if we were after favourable viewing metrics and we want an increase in views and subscribers, why wouldn't we just make another one of them videos instead? It would have saved us spending £1,000 on another pug and also spending 3 months cleaning wee and poop off the floor. But each their own opinion. You think what you want. The stats are there to prove otherwise, but let's just touch on why we got both dogs so you guys understand our thought pattern behind getting them and what our intentions were, what actually happened, and then what happened and what it evolved into. So we got Winston because Pablo just seemed miserable and sad, and whenever he was in the park he just loved playing with dogs. He was such a friendly dog. He just wanted to play with everyone. He just wanted to see everyone. He was so sociable, and we were like, we need to get him a friend. Like, he needs a friend. So we got Winston, and Pablo was happy to begin with. He was trying to play with him. Winston was a bit small. Winston didn't know what playing with big dogs was, and they couldn't really figure each other out. And I think Pablo took this a little bit to heart, thinking Winston didn't want to play with him, and he kind of disliked him from then on and wouldn't let him touch him or come near him, because I think he was a little scared of him as well because he was biting and he didn't want to hurt him. There was various reasons. But Winston was an absolute loose cannon. He was wild. Just wanted to play 24/7. He didn't sleep for like 2 months. It was incredible. He was so active and alive. And I think Pablo, being the kind of chill, little relaxed bear that he is, it was far too much for him. It was far too much for me. Like, far too much for Chelsea. Like, we struggled between us to look after him. Between the three of us, he was a whirlwind. And this is when we realised that Pablo just looked miserable. He wasn't miserable. He was happy with the life he had. And it was too late. We'd already got Winston and it was too late. So we tried to make things better, obviously. We're not going to just leave it and be like, oh, he doesn't like him and they don't like each other and they won't play with each other, so just doesn't matter. But they did love playing together in the park. When you took them out, like, that was real bonding for them. So we spent a lot of time with them out the house, in the park, running around when they're free. And they do get on. They do get along great. I mean, they're absolutely fine now. They love sleeping together and just chilling. They both do their own things, but they'll both play together in a little park. It's great. But yeah, we got Winston because we didn't want him to be lonely, but turns out he actually enjoyed being lonely and only liked that interaction when he was out, and when he came home he preferred to be by himself. You don't know that until it happens. We've admitted that mistake before. I haven't lied about it and saying it was all things were hunky-dory. We've discussed the issues many a times. If we got Stanley as our second pug, it might have been a lot different story. We probably would never have got a third pug because Stanley's personality is a lot closer to Pablo's than Winston's was. But Stanley was like the perfect little puzzle piece to fit in the middle. He had that play side of him to play with Winston, but he also had that side of him that liked just being alone as well. He liked to sleep by himself. He didn't like to be bothered. So he respected Pablo and he played with Winston, and it just brought them all together. And it was perfect. If he was more towards Winston's side, Pablo would have had a nightmare. If he was more towards Pablo's side, Winston would have been left out then. But he's a perfect little neutral, just sat in the middle. And it was a huge risk going for 3, but it paid off, so job's good. Now, if we had the ability to see into the future, we would have stopped at 1 and we would have just had Pablo, and that would have been that. We got 2 and it didn't go how we thought it would, so we got 3 to try and compensate, and this could have just been a spiral of getting more and more until eventually they all hated each other. And mistakes would have been made. But that's real life, and that's what I wanted to get across to you guys, you know. I didn't want you guys to think getting 2 was the perfect thing to do, you know. I wanted you guys to think about it. Really consider your options. And if they didn't get along, Chelsea's parents have said that they would love to get 2 pugs. We could have just shipped Stanley and Winston off and just kept Pablo. Obviously, that was worst case scenario, but we had a backup plan. But thankfully, it hasn't had to come down to that at all, so... Right, I completely sidetracked. Back to this email. Okay, I'm sorry about the length of this video. It has got dark outside. My camera just overheated for being on for so long. So, this is where we're at now. So, sorry if this has taken a while, but we're getting there. I've lived many decades, met a wide variety of persons. In fact, my professional life as a forensic psychologist, working in 3 different continents for government agencies and private corporations, providing a wide and far-reaching snapshot of the human condition. In my professional opinion, you aren't a genuinely open and honest individual, evidenced by the fact you're prepared to monetize your pet, attempt to live from the proceeds, therefore blatant exploitation. And now your oldest pet is significantly distressed due to the unthinking and thuggish greed. How does monetizing your pets mean that you're not honest? I don't get that one, but this actually isn't the first time a professional psychologist has got in touch with me. And the general consensus is that I'm not open and honest, I'm a compulsive liar. I've heard that before. So I'm obviously giving off some bad vibes to psychologists. I mean, they're the experts. They know they can diagnose me through a camera. Of course they can. I've been pulled up on saying, to be honest, a lot, which, to be honest, I'm a northerner. That's a very, very common saying. And I'm assuming they've never been to the north of England and experienced this, because in the north of England, when we say, to be honest, it means that what we're about to say is going to be honest. It's crazy, isn't it? Also, sarcasm. A lot of people struggle with English sarcasm as it is, English humour as it is, because we don't have any tonal changes and we are very sarcastic. The majority of the time, we rarely ever say stuff we actually mean. We always just say in the negative, in sarcasm. Because the majority of people don't take things seriously. We like having fun, like making things funny. We don't give it the, oh, well done, mate. Like, yeah, that's sarcasm, but we just give it the, well done, mate. Now, to me, that's actually miles funnier saying it in just a standard tone than making a big hoo-ha about it. But whatever, if you can't see through the sarcasm, that's not on me. That's on you for just It's just on you. The thing that gets me most about all these people who are getting in touch and saying this and this one in general is what have I got to lie about? What am I gaining from lying? What am I lying about for a start? What am I gaining from them said lies? I have no reason. But seeing as this is the truth and honest video, as with most YouTubers and most online personalities, I am putting on a front to you guys. And when I stand in front of a camera, I'm not 100% me. Am I lying? No. Is my personality off camera different to the one on camera? Yes. But what I'm saying, I don't come on camera and just start lying and pretend I'm someone else. I'm still me. I'm just a slightly different version of me. But I am a northerner, which means my vocabulary consists of a lot of curse words.
Watch your profanity.
Or what's considered curse words, should I say. Now, I'm very aware I have a lot of young viewers on this channel, a lot of families who watch it, a lot of Americans who watch it, which your tolerance on profanity is a lot stricter than here in the UK. It's a lot more relaxed here. People do not care anywhere near as much. I have been told off a few times for using the D word, which here in the UK, that is considered a safe word rather than using another word. And I'm pretty sure the majority of English people watching this will be so confused at what the D word is because it is just not considered a curse word. But you've got to know your demographic, and I've researched it, and it took me a lot of Googling to figure out what words I can and can't say, which seriously affects my vocabulary when I'm talking to a camera. I'm a lot more formal, I'm a lot more articulated in what I say, and I realised people struggle with the accent, struggle with the slang, struggle with the mumbling, so yeah, it is a slightly different version of me. So the things I say probably don't sound very natural because they're not natural, because that's not how I would say it, but I can't say it how I would say it because I would be demonetized and banned from YouTube probably. This for me is professional, exactly like you are when you go to work. You're a different person at work than you are at home. You're not a different person, it's just you're at work, you've got to be careful, you know, you don't want to lose your job, etc, etc. And when I begin streaming, I think a lot of people will be surprised at actually how I am completely normally, because they are quite far apart. I'm not gonna lie, I'm very different. Blatant exploitation, as I said before, they don't do anything out the normal that they wouldn't do if I wasn't doing YouTube. That's why the Q&As and videos just turned into me just talking, because when I wanted to do things, I was trying to get them to sit somewhere. There's 3 of them now, they're constantly playing, moving about, jumping around, and I don't have all day to sit and wait. I even made a video showing you how it is to try and film a video with them, because I don't try and force them. I don't make them do things they don't want to do. And that's why they haven't appeared in this video. Stanley and Winston are playing around on the floor. Pablo's fast asleep on there. And there. I'm not going to sit and hold him up because that's uncomfortable for him. He doesn't want to do that. And we've already discussed that he's not distressed. And for the thuggish greed, I'll get into that in a second because it kind of links up with another point he makes further down. So let's keep reading. Good luck, and I mean to Pablo, the unfortunate pug. Because with a mercenary owner like you, that dog's going to need it. Wake up to yourself and rethink how you're managing the responsibility of pet ownership. You're reaping the harvest you've sown from your pets. Mercenary? Okay. I'll get into the money thing in a second, because people love to play that card about YouTubers earning so much money. Some do. Some. Rethink my responsibility of pet ownership? Go back to work and leave them alone 50 hours a week where I can't intervene or help them in any way? We've been over this. I think what I'm doing is the best for them. Unfortunately, with my decades of experience with pugs and personalities human and canine, I don't envisage this adversarial condition you've created resolving in an agreeable outcome. Look, this person's clearly well educated. A sesquipedalian, should we say. What? The young guy knows some big words too? Yeah, I'm not thick. This is a basic intimidation tactic to make someone sound less intelligent by using bigger and more intelligent words. It isn't going to work. Why are you trying to flex on me? What? Why? Like, why? I know exactly what you're trying to say, and if you just said it in a normal way, it would have came across more of a point. But using big words just makes it sound like you're trying too hard to put me down because I won't know what you're saying. He's just jealous because he can't do this without it probably hurting all of his bones. So I must have really upset him with the video though. But what I can get is, why has this person subscribed to me in the first place? Because he's clearly against the idea of monetizing pets. Yet he's on a platform that's run specifically around monetization, and then has gone out of his way to find animal content to then subscribe to then unsubscribe to tell us how bad it is monetizing pets. Like, why? Like, why? That's like signing up for boxing, getting punched in the face, and then complaining it's a violent sport. Like, you signed up for this. You subscribed to you subscribe. I don't know. Some actual advice would have been sufficient rather than this absolute tosh of an email. And if you're so intelligent and experienced, then how comes you have zero solutions, yet many people in the comments had solutions, and you can't find one? Alright, last bit. That, sir, is why my grandson and I are unsubscribing from what has sadly morphed into a barely concealed, money-grabbing and exploitative exercise involving dumb, helpless animals who unfortunately are reliant upon you for their physical and psychological well-being. And then he puts his name and his phone number and his profession. And also I'm assuming this is a picture of him. Okay. Firstly, you've just completely voided any argument you actually did have by calling Pugs dumb. Like, that's genuinely an idiotic thing to say. Because what you've just said there is these dumb animals are very capable of these complex emotions. Well, are they dumb or are they very intelligent and can have these complex emotions? That's just very contradicting, and clearly you don't love pugs. I would never call them, I have probably called them dumb in the past, but it's in jest. I don't actually think they're dumb. They're very intelligent animals. A lot more intelligent than they will ever lead on. And when you're reading through emails like this and when you see something like that, you know you can just drop all the emotion you built up from the rest of the thing, because you can just go, I don't want these on my channel anyways, because they clearly don't like pugs. He clearly doesn't want to help me out and help my pug out. He thinks pugs are dumb. What a waste of everyone's time. Their mental well-being is something we've been working on this whole past year. We have vlogged the whole thing. It is there from start to finish, from good to bad to good again. But it takes time for them to bond. It takes time for them to understand each other. We've got to let them get from a puppy to an adult because they've got completely different mindsets. Once they understand each other, they can work on a relationship, and that's exactly how it's been. And they are still working on it, and we wanted the advice on how we could work on it. The physical well-being, that doesn't even need discussed. They are peak fitness. Hedge. Our boys never skip leg day, or chest day, or tail day. Right then, exploitative. Been over that. Money grabbing mercenary. The MGM. Give us your money. Should we make it into a t-shirt? The MGM. What do you reckon? So here's a little bit of an insight for y'all, and one day I might actually do a proper sit down video and show you guys exactly what I've made and what I've passed up on, but for now, this will do. A lot of people like to shout the whole money grabbing, exploitation, oh, you're just doing it for the money, don't care about the pugs, and all things similar like that. Now, I make enough money from YouTube to pay the bills. That's exactly why I'm doing it now as a career and not an actual career. And for anybody who doesn't know, I was an instrumentation engineer, which isn't a bad job. It's not an easy job just to drop like that. It's a skilled job and can be very highly paid, but I've dropped it to do this. So I must be getting paid loads of money. But no, I make enough to pay the bills. Sometimes. I have a stack of cash that I saved up from my previous job over the course of 3 or 4 years because I'm clever with money and that can make a little go a long way. My family taught me from a young age to be smart with money, and that's what I have been, which is why I can buy a camera like this, which is 4 times what I'm actually getting paid. So like, what about merch? That's exploitation. You must be earning loads of money from that. No, I'm not. We've had quite a lot of sales, I'm not going to lie. There's been a lot of, a lot of people have bought t-shirts and various things like that. But like a t-shirt, we sell it for £15. We get £2 profit off that, which some people might say that's a lot. But that isn't a lot when you consider other YouTubers are selling the same ones for £25. That's straight profit as well. So if we sell 100, we earn £200. That's a good amount of money for us. However, other YouTubers are earning £1,000 more for the exact same amount of sales. So I could just put my price up to £25, but I don't want to do that. I don't care. I don't mind that I'm missing out on £1,000 there. I made the merch for myself so I could wear it in videos and nobody would comment, you're wearing the same clothes all the time. And then when I went out with Chelsea, I'd be wearing the same clothes that I was wearing in the house. I've now got like out clothes and then I've got in clothes. But I just wanted to make it better for you guys. So if you guys did want something, it was nice and cheap and you didn't have to break the bank to get anything. But yet we're still the bad guys for it. Now I have received over 100 emails for sponsorships, partnerships, corporations, product placements, etc, etc. And how many have we done? 1. Julius K9. That's it. I'm not promoting products that I don't use myself, won't use, or never plan on using. So, yeah, we've only ever went with 1. We were already using Julius K9 products as it was. They got in touch. It was a no-brainer. Of course, we want the harnesses. Like, yeah, we'll promote. Yeah, we're already doing that anyways. It is no different to what we were already doing. Some emails are probably worth like £50 odd each, some a lot less, some a lot more. But that's essentially over £5,000 I've just ignored on the principle of, well, I won't use it, but I don't want to advertise stuff to you guys that we wouldn't use. That's not how influencers should work. It should be, look at these products that are good that we use. And how many people could easily just pass up £5,000 like that? Just for what? A bit of moral high ground? That's all I'm doing it for, really. And is this some mad flex that I'm so rich that £5,000 nothing to me? It's just a drop in the ocean. I don't need that kind of money. Absolutely not. That would have been close to doubling the amount I earned last year. Which from that, you can maybe get a little bit of a hint on how much money I've been making. Which, considering I just post videos of Pugs online, is very good. But in terms of a living wage... But I'm probably only earning about a quarter of the money I was earning at my engineering job. But I could have been also earning that money on top of my engineering job as well. But yeah, it's all about the money for me. It's all about the money. So if it's not about the money, then why am I doing this? Well, obviously because I'm a money-grabbing mercenary. Duh. But I get to sit at home all day with the boys every day. I'm just taking them for walks and do nice things, and it's brilliant. And what do I value that at? I value that at the highest thing in my life. I sacrificed like £25,000 a year to do that. That's how much less I am getting than I was just to sit at home with the boys. Now, if I was doing it for the money, well, everyone's logic there is just completely flawed. How many of you guys would sacrifice £25,000 a year, which is like 30,000 US dollars, just to stay at home with your dogs? Would you sacrifice that amount of money? I certainly would. I did. That's why I'm here. So yeah, and the thing is, people will call me stupid for not taking these kind of brand deals and getting myself a bit of extra money. The amount of people who are also offering, I should open a Patreon so we can give you money. People are offering me free money. People are saying, sign up to this website and I'll just give you a load of free money. And people will call me stupid for not doing that, but I'm not doing that. But then people call me money grabbing for not doing that as well. This is what I'm talking about. You just can't win. Now, maybe I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. Don't maybe about it. I'm not a perfect owner. I'm not a perfect YouTuber. I'm not perfect in any way, shape or form. I've never claimed to be, and I'm never probably ever going to claim to be. But what I can assure you is I am willing to sacrifice so much for these boys. I have sacrificed so much for these boys already. But yeah, I don't have the dog's best interest at heart. It's gone to some people. But the thing is, you can just ignore it because I have sacrificed as much as I possibly could for these dogs. Like, I can't physically sacrifice anymore. It's impossible. You know, and I could sit here and I could pretend that, yeah, I'm a YouTuber, I'm earning loads of money, look at my car, look at my house, living the luxury life. You know, I know people I went to school with watch these, I know people I used to work with watch these, but I'm not going to pretend that I'm something I'm not, because the truth will always catch up with you. So I might as well just tell the truth from the beginning, which I always have. I've not tried to pretend I'm earning loads of money because I haven't. Anyways, I chose the email specifically because it did cover a lot of different points that a lot of other people have complained about and made points about and blah blah blah. Not about singling people out, but this was like the most efficient way to cover a lot of people's emails. But all these negative emails and comments they're all just a waste of time. They're all a waste of my time. They're a waste of your time. I know I've wasted your time with it now, but now this video's out there and it's like I've said all I need to say. Like for me, I can just ignore all these now, knowing fine well this video's up, and if they watched it, they'd understand. If I haven't watched it, it's not my problem. But I just wanted to give you guys an insight and a kind of just what I get on the regular, what I go through, what I read, how my thought patterns go during these emails that I'm getting and what I'm thinking about and how it affects me. Obviously minus a few curse words. But just to show you guys what it's like posting videos of Pugs online. Like, you'd think it was amazing and the best thing ever, but this is the majority of what I deal with. Now, I was prepared for the hate comments. I'm fully aware. I've watched other people get it. I've seen comments on other videos before I started doing YouTube. I was well prepared. And for the most part, I do actually quite enjoy it. I can easily laugh at just the majority of it, but until it happens to you, you don't know how you react and how it will actually affect you when people are attacking you personally about different things. I've spent many years on Xbox getting hate mail from different people, and I love riling them up, making them angry, correcting them on the grammar, and then just like spiralling out of control. It's hilarious. I'm a bit of a troll, whatever. But you know, I thought I was well prepared for it, but there is certain things that do trigger you and you don't realise it will happen until it happens. But as you've seen with following me through this, I can just deconstruct someone's argument because I know in myself personally, I've done everything I can to the best of my ability And that's all you need to do. That's the best I can do, and that's all I can offer. But I do think you have to have a certain level of confidence and a certain mentality to be able to post videos online and not be heavily affected by this sort of thing. And now it really doesn't surprise me when people get depression and anxiety because of YouTube, because it's not the posting of the videos that's the problem. It's stuff like this. And like, if you have nothing nice to say, just don't say anything at all. I mean, I was taught that when I was like 4. You know, if I don't like a video, I just click off it. I don't even bother leaving a dislike. Even that is just a waste of time. I might as well just click the X. I'm not clicking the dislike and then clicking... Just wasting my time. They're trying to do their thing and create their content. It's not for me. I don't need to send them an email telling them it's not for me. Because other people will. Evidently, people do. Anyways, that's probably a decent amount of points covered and a little ranting. Everyone needs a rant here and there. Everyone needs a vent. I use the camera quite often as a coping mechanism, you would say, just to kind of... someone to talk to. I know I'll just read through your guys' comments. I'm not actually talking to anyone. I'm just kind of letting it out there. But saying it out loud and not having it just sit in your head is soothing. So then, far too late in the video. Everyone's probably already clicked off. But if you are still here, thank you very much. What we're going to do next year, we're going to enjoy it. Simple as that. We're just going to enjoy it. There isn't a proper plan in place. It's just... I'm just going to try and enjoy it. But to be more specific, because you guys have waited this long to hear what we're going to be doing, and then for me to say nothing, I am going to be concentrating a lot more on the second channel. And I'll leave a link to that in the description. I think it's always been there. But if you want to go check that out, go check that out. There'll be gaming, collectibles, cars, just everything I enjoy that isn't called Pablo, Winston or Stanley, basically. And I will happily be the MGM over there. Oh, I will rinse myself for as much money as possible. I don't care. The money-grabbing mercenary returns. I will sell my soul to the devil for a little bit of that over there. Which, yeah, is very contradictory to the exact points I've just made. But I don't want to be exploiting these boys either. That's not my goal. Like everybody, my goal is to advance my career into a position where I'm financially better off. You know, I'd love to buy a bigger house with a bigger garden to be able to let these boys run around in a much bigger area. And I probably should be doing it on Pablo's channel because there's more subscribers, there's more viewers. But I don't like the idea of that. I don't like the idea of the proper exploitation, like people said, selling them out. Okay, I don't mind them being popular online and posting the videos and stuff, but I don't want that to be... I don't want that to be that. Which a lot of people will struggle to get their heads around, but that's how I'm looking at it. So yeah, I am here to want to make money and to want to buy nice things, you know. I want to buy fancy cars and fancy houses and luxury items and, you know, go on holidays and do all this stuff, but I don't want that to be through the dogs. I do have a moral compass. I realise that doing it through them is a bit dodgy. Not dodgy, but yeah. But I want to build that channel using this as like a base platform to kind of help build that channel and make that the income, make that the place that generates the money to help us live the lives we want to live. And then I won't have to post videos on this channel that are rushed or try and do daily vlogs again because I need some money because I'm run out of toilet paper. Like, I can just post videos I want on this channel, take my time. Yeah, it'll just be better for you guys. People won't have an issue with me doing it on my own channel, but will have an issue with me doing it on here. That's always going to be the case. So in terms of this channel though, I'm still not sure what direction I actually want to take it in. All I know is that I like to entertain, I like to make people laugh. So I'll just be trying to do a lot more fun things, fun video idea types. My brain fires on like all cylinders and I need to start writing them ideas down because I have so many good ideas that I forget about, and then I'll still film like the special occasions, like the birthdays and stuff, or like special walks. I love cinematography, so I'll still do that when we go on walks and film really nice photogenic landscapes and them running through it in slow motion and all that sort of stuff. And I do have so many ideas for like sketch videos, and the reason I stopped the Q&A was because a lot of that stuff I knew I could make into like a fully flushed out video rather than just like a little segment in the Q&A. So that's kind of what I wanted to change that into, like a video series of sketches or something. And I want to just spend a lot more time planning videos, editing them, and just being proud. Like, I lost that sense of pride quite a while ago with this channel. I just started posting because I wanted to post or needed to post or felt like I had to post. And some videos I just posted up and I didn't like them myself, which I want to be proud of the stuff I'm putting out. I want to put a video out and go, yeah, that's a good video. Even if it doesn't get the views, as long as in myself I'm like, that's a good video. That's all I want. I've had like oh, there must now be almost like 400 videos or something on the channel, and I can honestly say I'm maybe proud of 10 of them. But if I'm pushing content out on the other channel and streaming and all stuff like this, then I don't have to worry about rushing uploads on this channel. I can just make it good for you guys, and you guys can have that escape and that, you know, I can give you that happiness that people always say, like, it, you know, help you smile on a bad day and stuff like that. Like, that's what I want to do. So there will be a lot more of me and Chelsea on this channel going forwards, and that's just how it's going to be, and I'll be reverting back to the kind of family vlogs we kind of done. Can't remember when we done it. We had like a couple of months where we done more vloggy style videos, and I didn't enjoy that, and that's what the channel's going to be going forward. As well, as horrible as this might sound at this moment, these won't be around forever, and obviously that means the channel will just at some point die completely, so we need a contingency plan. But at the same time, we want this to be a family channel, our family with the dogs. So as well, we will probably in the next 10 years potentially have a child, so the channel will evolve into that in the future. Some of you guys will leave at that point, some of you guys will be invested in us and want to stay and just follow our lives because you've had for so long, but we'll cross that barrier when we come to it. I do have a few series ideas of some things that I would like to do. I don't know how viable they are, I don't know whether I'm going to be able to achieve them, but they're in the works, so we will see. And I'm working on some other things behind the scenes, like some new merch. I'll be working on the MGM t-shirt definitely now. And yeah, I think that's actually it. That's us done. I do apologise for the length of this video. I have rambled on a lot. I do have some bullet points here that just to kind of keep me on track and not get me distracted, but it didn't work. I don't know what I can cut out. But yeah, obviously I'll keep you updated with everything. I'm not just going to disappear now. Videos will be coming. I'll be trying to upload on my other channel at least once, twice a week. On this channel, once a week at least, hopefully. But I'm not going to stick to any kind of schedules because that's when it gets difficult. If I don't have a video, that's when I start forcing things. And once you start forcing things, everything just becomes forced and rushed and it goes downhill. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. It was probably far too long for you guys. Do apologise. But like, comment, subscribe as always. Peace out.